Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from a group. We want to explain about pragmatic speech art. Intan Nurjati Safitri, Imat Ayun India, and Nafsiyah. Switch the action to the word to the action. Speech arts theory of a language developed by G.L. Austin, 1962, followed by Scully, 1975. How to do things with words. Speech arts is the study that concretes in the meaning of the acts performed by speakers. Otherness, speech art can be described as otherness which the speaker says or the speaker performs in every speech. When speaker utter an otherness, it is not always to describe something. By giving otherness, they actually do something. Three types of speech arts. Number 1, locutionary arts, literary meaning. Locutionary is roughly equivalent to uttering certain utterances with certain sense and reference. The example is, "It's so dark in the room. The books is heavy." Number 2, is elocutionary, is performed via the communicative phase of an utterance. For example, "It's so dark in this room. The box is heavy." Based on the example above, the first sentence shows a request to switch the light on. The second sentence shows a request to lift up the box. And then number 3, prelocutionary is the act that is carried out by a speaker when making an utterance cause in the certain effect on the hearer and others. For the example, "It is so dark in this room. The box is heavy." Types of speech art. Locutionary arts, performing the art of saying something. It is the actual words uttered or the actual act of uttering. Example, please do the size. Elocutionary arts, performing an act in saying something. The words or intonation behind the words. Example, by entering the location, please do the dice. The speaker requests the address to wash the dice. Prelocutionary acts, performing an act by saying something. The effect of the elocution on the hearer. This effect is based on the particular context in which the speech arts was mentioned. Please do the precise word led to the address washing the dish. And now, elocutionary arts classification. Number 1, declarations. Speech art that the utterance effect immediate change in the institutional states of affairs and which tend to rely on elaborate extralinguistic. That speech as include a communicating, declaring, where, questioning, varying from employment. For example, "You are dead to me." Representative, When someone says she's beautiful, the speaker can state the sentence based on the effect or just give his or her own opinion about physical condition of a person. And when someone says the earth is flat, it represents the speaker's assertions about the earth. The speaker has opinion that the earth is flat. And next is expressive. The speech arts include thanking, apologizing, welcoming, and congratulating. For example, when someone says, "Don't be shy, my home is your home," the alternate represents the speaker's experience that he or she welcomes someone. Directive. The speech arts include requesting, questioning, common orders, and suggesting. For example, when someone says, "Could you lend me a pencil, please?" The alternate represent the speaker requests that the hearer to do something, which is to lend him a pencil. And next, commissive. Commissive are speech as the alternate commit the speaker to some future course of action. These include promising, threatening, offering, rival, pledges. For example, when someone says, "I will be back," represent the speaker's promise that her or she will be back. Maybe enough here from me, and next by explained by my friend Nafsia.
So here I will explain about illocutionary act categories. What are they? So the first is declarations. What is declarations? Declarations is a type of illocutionary act which brings a change in the external situations, as pledging, firing, baptizing, bidding, and passing a sentence. And what is the example? I hereby pronounce you man and wife. So, after the minister or wedding officiant saying this, the utterance changed the bride and groom situations from the status of single into the person of married. And then the second, representatives. Representatives is a type of illocutionary act in which the speaker expresses belief to the case or not the case, as describing, claiming, hypothesizing, insisting, and predicting. The example: no one makes better pancakes than I do. And another example: the earth is flat and rose smell good. And then the third, commissive. What is commissive? Commissive is a type of illocutionary act which commits the speaker to do something in the future, as promising, planning, vowing, and bedding, refusing, and also volunteering and offering. And then the example: I will love you, dear. I will love you till China and Africa meet. So dramatic, right? And then the second example: I'll make him an offer he can refuse. Maybe another example: I promise to buy you ice cream after school. Something like that. The fourth, directives. Directives is a type of illocutionary act in which the speaker tries to make the address perform an action or aimed at making the hearer do something, as commanding, forbidding, asking, ordering, requesting, inviting, advising, and begging. The example: please close the door. Please close the door is the example of asking or ordering. And an ancient Chinese proverb: better remain silent and be thought a fool than open your mouth and remove all possible doubt. And a familiar example may be like go away, something like that. And then the fifth category, expressive. What is expressive? A type of illocutionary act which the speaker expresses his or her feelings or emotional reactions, as thanking, apologizing, welcoming, regretting, and deploring. The example: I'm so sorry for not helping out in our group projects and letting you do all the work. And next, like Steinem statement: a woman without a man is like a fish without a cycle. And maybe the example from apologizing, a familiar example. I'm sorry. And another example. Congratulations. Next, I'm going to explain about sentences types. The first is declarative. The formula subject plus verb order. The attend function is to a session. Example: you wear a seat belt. And then the second is imperative. The attendance function is to order or request. And the example is wear a seat belt. Because this is to order or request, so the sentence use exclamation mark. Don't forget exclamation mark. And then the last is interrogative. The formula verb plus subject order. The attendance function is to question. Example: do you wear a seat belt? And because this is for question, so don't forget we have to use question mark.
Okay, the next discussion is about direct speech act. There is a direct relationship between the structure and the communicative function of the utterance. The following examples show that the form corresponds with the function. A declarative is used to make a statement. The example: you wear a seat belt. An imperative is used to make a comment. Wear a seat belt. An interrogative is used to ask a question. Do you wear a seat belt? Direct speech act therefore explicitly illustrate the intended meaning the speaker has behind making the utterance. And then the utterance function are different. The sentence type is for declarative, and the utterance function a question, order, or a request. And the example of declarative sentence: I wonder when the train leaves. You are standing in front of the TV. The imperative sentence have a function, assertion, and question. Have a good day. Tell me why it's good for you. And for interrogative, they have a user function as assertion, order, or request. The example of the sentence is who cares? Can you open the door? And the next is about indirect speech act. There is an indirect relationship between the form and the function of the utterance. The following examples show that the form does not correspond with the function. In An interrogative is used to make a order or request. Can you open the door? And the declarative is used to make a request. You are standing in front of the TV. The speaker does not explicitly state the intended meaning behind the utterance. It's the hearer text to analyze the utterance to understand its meaning. And then literal meaning versus pragmatic meaning. In literal meaning, the meaning of who cares is someone cares. Who is it? But if we use in utterance, may we have a pragmatic meaning. No one cares. And the next is idiom theory. Idiom also use an indirect way of making a request or giving an order. Example, rise and shine. The literal meaning is something is rising and shining, but if used in utterance maybe have a pragmatic meaning. The meaning is please wake up and be happy. And this is our presentation uh, about a pragmatic. And then thank you.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.